It is Saturday morning, surprise live broadcast. I am in my garage, on my bike. If you have missed what's been going on in January, you will know that I am injured. There is no running. I got to, well, this time last week, so Red January day 17, and I strained my calf whilst out on my long run. I was planning to do 30 kilometers. I only managed to get 15 kilometers before I felt something go in my calf. Instinctively, first thing I did was stretch it because I thought it was a cramp, which for a strain is a big mistake. So here I am, currently in Zwift, over here on my laptop. I've got the TV in front of me, and I thought I'd just hang out with you guys for a little bit. Morning, Cosmin. I hope you had a good work trip. Good to see you here. I thought I would just have a little bit of company. You know how you use Zwift, so you know how mind-numbing it can be. I'm about to do the epic KOM, so huge mountain climb, 5.9 miles. Gonna be gnarly. Haven't done this one for a while. It's been well over a year since I did it. So I thought I'd just check in and say hi with everybody. The thing is, everything was going so well. I went to the physio on Thursday. He did say that it's just a minor tear, so I should be back up and running this time next week, which is good. Doing everything I should do, strengthening the calf, massage, heat, self-massage, not going to a massage therapist every day. I've just realised I forgot to bring my towel in, which is going to be problematic, so I'm going to sweat like nobody's business. Cosmin, how's your training going? Do you feel like you've fully recovered now post-Valencia? Yeah. Good on you. Good on you. I'm kind of glad in some ways that I'm not running this week, because it's just wall-to-wall rain here for the next week. It has been absolutely miserable. And yeah, kind of whilst I hate being on the bike in my garage, it's not a bad thing. Not at all. How far are you going today? Whilst you're typing that, just a little stat at the moment. Pedaling at 90 RPM, which is about the cadence that I'd run with, so that's, you know, helpful for just building kind of like muscle memory of the kind of cadence I'm wanting to achieve. Heart rate 107 at the moment, not blowing out at all. Not climbing. Currently, actually I am climbing, I'm in gear 2. Heart rate 112. Power output 180 watts. It is about to get hideous. Yeah, I honestly felt like it was only last week where everything was clicking back together again, like heart rate back to where it should be, able to hit strides at the pace I was hoping for. So yeah, major bummer really that the injury popped its head up, but what can you do? What can you do? The focus really is making sure that I can run in the States, because there's no way that my body can tolerate all the amount of Texan barbecue without aerobic exercise. And whilst there will be a bike in the gym and the hotel, like, it'd be nice just to be outside running in Texas. All the Americans run with their tops off, so I might have to do that. That seems to be the American running influencer thing. So watch this space for some videos with an incredibly wobbly tummy. I'm pretty lean in the top half. In the midriff there, it's quite a bit to get hold of there. Obviously it's all like on the scales, you know, I'm by no means overweight, I'm just carrying a little bit more fat than I'd like. So, got my laptop, got the bike, got a big thing of squash, had a pre-workout before I came. This is a fasted workout. If I was to guess, I would think I'm probably going to be on the bike for at least 90 minutes. 28 to 30k, mainly easy. Oh, nice. I'm guessing you are properly into your Boston training now. Oh, sorry, speak a bit quieter. And there's a child that should be sleeping in the room above. It's 9:30. Anyway, not happy with me talking, so I need to talk a little bit quieter. Can you still hear me? We may have to cut this short in the interest of keeping my children happy. I should have got her to bring me a towel while she was there, but she did not look like she was in the mood. Yeah, teenage sluggards. Unbelievable. Okay, I'll talk a little bit quieter. Should be in for a surprise once I'm towards the top of the mountain and I'm absolutely dying. Heart rate now up to 118. The great thing about getting on the bike is, I'm just going to see if I can change that. The great thing about being on the bike is I can replicate any zone very easily without actually adding too much stress on my legs. So I can do a really solid equivalent of a long run, but with much better recovery. So that's why I'm doing this, to try and boost recovery, encourage aerobic adaptation, and you know, it really does make a difference to the running. So although I can't run right now, and I can't run for the next week, this is going to set me up so that when I do return, potentially I might have gained fitness, because I've been doing some workouts. Yesterday I did a fairly sort of solid state ride, but on Thursday I did aerobic builds, really kind of pushing up into zone 3, and the body just recovers so well. So welcome to you if you're joining me on this ad hoc Saturday morning live. Thought we could just talk running. I'm on my bike. I'm having to talk quiet because I just got complaints from upstairs. 17-year-old daughter wants to sleep Saturday morning, 9:30. I get it, I was there once. On the bike, if you've got any questions about running, if you've got anything you want to talk to, just to ease my boredom, I am riding in Zwift. So yes, great question. It's definitely in the soleus, which obviously sits in behind the calf muscle. It's almost like a sort of sits behind the main bulk of the gastroc. So yeah, that's where it is. Had this conversation quite a lot with people in terms of, oh, you know, do I get it checked out? The reality is, I think if in a week's time I'm still struggling, I would be quite tempted, but the health service in the UK certainly aren't going to pay for it, so I'd have to do it privately. And then it becomes quite an expensive injury. I've already forked out for physio, and this is my hobby, so you have to kind of bent knee, calf raises, single leg, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, tiring actually. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a second. Trying to get clever here. Let's move that sticker up there. Yeah, so yeah, the physio has given me single leg calf raises. Ideally, body weight. So if I'm at home, just obviously lifting my body. If I'm at the gym, using a leg press, adding weight on, adding the equivalent weight on. So yeah, those kind of isolation work exercises, always a bit of a pain. I don't enjoy them. But all of this is just a helpful reminder that you cannot ignore strength and conditioning. I think one of the things that I've fed back to the gym, because the gym I go to, we have structured programs, it's group coaching, and the calves are pretty neglected. Like, we do lots of, when I think this week we're doing, well, in this block we're doing RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, we're doing front foot elevated split squats. What else are we doing? Squats. Like, it's very rare that we do stuff around the kind of some of the auxiliary muscles. So that's stuff that I have to do separately. Update on the route. Currently 5.2 miles in, and I don't know how far I am into. I'm 18 minutes into this climb, so I'm guessing. I don't know how long the climb's going to take, but heart rate currently 123, so keeping this super manageable. Current wattage output 161 watts. Got my fan down there, but it's not plugged in, so that's useless. And just gonna keep on going. Once I've done with the live, I will get the TV on. I'm gonna watch a movie. Nice way to keep things going. Give you a little tour of what we've got going on here. So here's my bike. Watt bike, Atom, absolute weapon. It is brilliant. Got my laptop there, running Zwift, roof box for the car, completely nothing to do with the cycling. TV over there, and just lots of junk. Needs a tidy. Yeah, I'd quite like to. There was a while where I had this like really nice in here, and then, as in every house, the garage becomes the dumping ground. So got a load of stuff in here that's waiting to go to the tip. That will happen tomorrow. And yeah, I think the one thing I realised is I need to do more bike. It's such an easy way to add aerobic load without impact. So I did that in the run up to Loch Ness, and who knows, maybe that was the thing. I didn't use the bike at all in the run up to Valencia. Reading an interesting book by James Copeland at the moment about the Norwegian singles method, which is, well, basically like the Norwegian doubles but singles, so going out once a day and doing more work at sub-threshold pace rather than do really intense sessions where you're going into threshold and theoretically making it easier to recover, making it easier to build those aerobic gains. So may just start shifting stuff around a little bit. Obviously, I've not got any races planned until Valencia, so I've got 8 months to play and figure out what works, how I can build my fitness as much as I can, how I can, what does an interval session look like if I'm not going out at max effort, but going out sub-threshold, maybe doing longer intervals. I think one of my favourite workouts in the marathon block last time was 20 by 400, which is a hard session, but what about doing 15 by 800, so more volume but at a lower intensity. The science says that that's going to give me serious improvements. So yeah, I'm geeking out at the moment on all of the science and looking at ways to maximize the benefits of training. At 45, I've got to be really strategic about how I train. Oh, thanks. You just want to watch? Welcome to Shares 3185. Clearly doesn't understand what this is about, but welcome. Am I tired? Not very tired. Why do you ask? I mean, I'm tired in that life's pretty tiring. I'm sweating like a pig because I'm indoors, so I've got no fan cooling me down. I'm wearing a bit of a thermal long sleeve top, so I'm sweating profusely, which is all good. Teaching the body to work in a bit of heat. Dude, yeah, I normally have 3 towels. I left them on the drying rack, and I'm so stubborn that I refuse to stop the workout to go get the towel. I know it's stupid. So, yeah, absolute rookie mistake. Thanks. I try not to give up on myself. It's tempting though sometimes. The best alternative I've got for a towel is a beanie. That will at least absorb some of the sweat in my head. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so what I've got fan-wise is a carpet fan, and I've got a little remote controller. It doesn't, it's not nearly as cool as the kicker fan. It's powerful though. I just forgot to plug it in. And again, too stubborn to plug it in and stop the workout. So I'm just going to sweat through this. See if I can show you what's actually going on the screen there. Ridiculous that the guy that currently has the KOM got up this mountain in 19 minutes. I'm 24 minutes in and I'm nowhere near the top. That being said, I have reached or passed the snow line, so that's not bad. I'm 856 foot above sea level now. Oh. My wife's currently at the supermarket. When she comes back, I'll ask her to deliver the towels. That will be my first order of business. She's gone to pick up cake ingredients. Yeah, I'm on Zwift, yeah. She's gone to pick up cake ingredients so I can bake a birthday cake for my nephew. Man of many talents, gonna bake a chocolate cake. Oh man, it's a solid workout. It is a really solid workout. Heart rate's up to 130. Basically trying to keep my cadence at 90. So keep the legs turning over nice and quick. It's at PKSRUNS. Same as everywhere else, Cosmin. It might be at PKSRUNS. I've always been super tempted to have a treadmill in the garage that I could do like really nice controlled runs a couple of days a week in Zwift, but it's a big expenditure and I don't really have backing from the financial powers within the house. Good morning, George. If you've got any questions about running, about life, about anything really, do feel free to drop them in. Yeah, man. You need a treadmill or a bike? Probably need both. On my list, I want a treadmill, I want a sauna. Neither of which I have the money or the space for. But man can dream, right? You'll notice I've got my Philadelphia Eagles flag behind me. I was in Philadelphia last year for work and it coincided with them winning the Super Bowl. What is the Venice? What? That's a great question. 30 meters per second. All right, I'm gonna work this out. Okay, so if he's going, well, the weight is that's irrelevant. Doesn't matter how heavy he is, because he's still traveling at 30 meters per second. So if he's traveling 30 meters per second, he is traveling 30 times 60, which is 1.8 kilometers a minute? Oh, you're gonna have to give me the answer to that. That's a little bit more than my brain can cope with. Does the weight make any difference? All I can say is my current speed is 7 miles per hour. Appreciate the ride on. I'll follow you back just as soon as I finish my ride. King Sharuk, can you give us the answer to that question? Feels like a riddle. Oh. So if you are just tuning in, sorry if this looks very boring. It is quite boring, I'm on my bike, but I'm chatting to you guys. How many minutes in? Okay, I am 40 minutes in, and I've set to do I think it's a 26-mile loop, so I'm going to be here I won't be live for the whole time, but this is going to be a 90-minute workout minimum, maybe 2 hours, which may sound a bit crazy, but if I was running, I would be going out for a 2-hour run. Most of my runs are 90-minute runs. So yeah, obviously I love fitness, I love training, and I was meant to run every day in January, but I injured myself, so doing this on the bike is kind of like my, I don't know, a sweet reward. I love this. Heart rate now up to 135, so it's manageable. You can tell that I can speak. So I'm doing work, but I'm not gassing myself out. So it's sustainable. If I was to get my heart rate up to like 155, 160, I would still be talking, but I would struggling. And yeah, this would be killing me. yeah, I lift weights 3 mornings a week. I go to the gym, I do 3 45-minute sessions. Group PT, so there's 16 of us. We all do the same class. Do exercises with Olympic barbells, so deadlifts, squats, lunges, but also upper body work. Yesterday I was doing dumbbell chest press, shoulder press. I actually think combining aerobic activity with gym work, strength and conditioning, absolute. I'd say it makes you bulletproof, but I'm injured. So, funny you should say that. I am actually, I signed up for a personal training qualification and I am a part way through it. It's remote learning, I work full time in software. I train probably anywhere between 10 and 15 hours a week. It's really hard to find the energy to do the remote learning, but it is on my plan. I really, really love helping other runners. Oh my goodness, I'm going downhill. I've got no resistance. Hang on a second, just changing gears. There we go. Yeah, I'd really love to train people. Really want to help other runners. I think I see a lot of the advice that's given online and lots of it sits on like real extremes, like, you know, if you're going to do weight training, you shouldn't run because you want to get as big as you can, you know, or this is exactly what you should eat if you want to become a faster runner. And my experience has been over 18 years of running. The most simple approach is you just have to run lots. Strength and conditioning makes a huge difference. It has to be timed well. Right, in gear 7. The hill currently is 6.2% gradient. I was sitting in gear 2. I'm going to go down to gear 4 and see how long I can hold this. Heart rate up to 144 already. You'll see what I mean about really controlling heart rate on the bike. What you eat is so important. At the moment, just being completely honest, I'm trying to cut, so I'm trying to lose a bit of weight, a bit of fat. I've still got a bit of excess fat to lose. I was significantly overweight 4.5 years ago. And I am now incredibly lean in comparison. But all of this exercise does not give me carte blanche to eat what I want when I want. I love sweet treats, I really do. And I have to be really disciplined. Yeah, I'll be honest, my top half from here is pretty toned. I'm then just carrying, like most men in their 40s, a solid band of chub around my waist. It's not crazy, it's just more than is necessary. And the thing is that fat, like, it doesn't really add anything to my long run because most of the time I'm burning carbs rather than burning fat as a fuel source. So all it's doing is just adding a bit of excess weight. I don't often talk about this because it's really contentious, and people always jump in and talk about, you know, body dysmorphia and eating disorders. And, you know, I would say in the past I have struggled with disordered eating, whereby I kind of punish myself if I've not worked out, and I reward myself if I have. And now I just try and stick to a pretty like pretty rigid eating plan. Trying to put good stuff into my body. I do still treat. In the past, I've done like, a couple of years where I'd given up sugar, and all that happens is I end up binging on other stuff. So general rule of thumb, Monday to Friday, I try and avoid treats, and at the weekend I have a few treats with my daughters whilst watching a movie, and it's all good. And if I find myself in a situation where it's too good to turn down, I don't turn it down, and I don't feel guilty about it, which has been a huge mindset shift. I don't know, I've still got this on. I'm absolutely cooking. Oh. Okay. 36 minutes into the climb. Zwift is telling me I will be there in 3 minutes. I'm near the top. Really hard to cut sugar. My rule of thumb when I did it was I used to accept any food that had less than 4 grams of added sugar per 100, which meant that I just wasn't crazy, because it's hidden in so many things, but keeping it under that threshold felt like it made quite a difference. Heart rate 147. 80 RPM, gear 6, heart rate 150. I'm just going to push for this last bit of the climb, I think. Getting hot. Heart rate 153. I don't mind this. It's basically another minute and a half of climb, and then it'll be a big downhill. I can bring the heart rate down. And then the route looks a bit hilly, but plenty of flat, so I can just get back to sitting in the 130s and work it out. Oh, sorry for the tongue. It's a natural response. I read in, I think it was when I first started running, back in 2006, no, 2007, I read Lance Armstrong's book, It's Not About the Bike. And we'll leave opinions of Lance Armstrong to one side. He talked about how the French riders used to ride with their tongue out to increase oxygen absorption. And ever since, when I feel like I'm gassed, I get the tongue out. Yeah, I think because I've been there, my very first run in 2007 was 2 kilometers. Went to the end of my road and back. It took me 20 minutes. Didn't have a heart rate monitor. I used a map to work out the old way of literally putting a ruler along the road to measure how long it was. And I was absolutely gassed. And it took me, I decided there and then I was just going to commit to running every day. And that was where all this started. I was really overweight. And it's been a long old journey to get here. And there's been times where I've lost it, mentally. I've had, in these 18 years, I've had 2 full emotional breakdowns. Mental health is a big issue for me. And I think there's 1 year where I literally only ran 60 miles. Very overweight, very depressed. Now, training is an essential part of my life. I'm on medication for depression and anxiety. I actually can't, as yet, I can't survive without them. I get in a really dark place. I hope one day that I will be able to. But doing this is absolutely key for me. Training, feeling good about myself, feeling fit, really makes a difference. Ordinarily at this point, if I wasn't doing a live, I would have my top off. But I just don't want to be that guy. I think it can be quite unhealthy, unhelpful. Like I see a lot of the American running influencers, they're always running with their tops off and they got like perfect six packs and all it does is I talk about not comparing, and this would be one of the things I really struggle with. I'm like, I don't look like that. I'm a fast runner, but I don't look like a fast runner. A couple of years ago I had a conversation with a guy and I said, oh yeah, I enjoy like long distance running, and he said, oh, you look more like a sprinter. And it was a classic, assumption that if you're a marathon runner that you've got to be super skinny and like, oh sweet Mary, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, you can look anything. I mean, I ran a 2:47 marathon in December at this weight, at this sort of body composition. I ran a 2:45 the year before. I was actually quite a bit heavier, quite a bit more, carrying more muscle. There is no running shape. That being said, if you want to be a world record breaking runner in the marathon, in reality, you're going to look like a Kenyan or an Ethiopian. Because they are carrying no excess weight. They've also got incredibly light lower limbs, so very little calf bulk. That makes a huge difference. And interestingly, above average toe length. Read about that in an interesting book a couple of summers ago. So 55 minutes into the ride altogether. 11 miles, I'm just going downhill at the moment. It's great fun. Still, I'm keeping the resistance so that I'm still working. It's not like free, but it feels good. Just a reminder, if you do want more of this content, do subscribe to the channel, and I do a live every Monday night. I sit down in my study and we, home office, we chat about running. I try and post reels every day. I've been doing a podcast through January, every day, little daily reflection on movement. You can go and find that. Just search for PKS in Spotify, Apple, you'll find it. Literally 3-minute episodes just to help you move through January. You can listen to it anytime, actually. I think it would be pretty applicable. Coming to the bottom of the hill, it's really satisfying knowing that I've climbed 1,500 feet of elevation Saturday morning. In the olden days, I would have just been lying in bed or sat on my Xbox. In fairness, I probably could get my Xbox set up in here for a bit of added entertainment. Could become an Xbox streamer. Don't even know what that means. Time for a drink. Whew. I'm gonna just not talk until any other questions come in. Jay, do you run? So if you've just joined and you're wondering why I keep looking over there, it's because I've got my laptop. I'm currently in Zwift, training on my bike. I'm not running, I'm just riding. Good morning, welcome. Joining me on the bike. Doing a little workout because I can't run, and answering any questions about running. So, welcome. Forgot to bring in my towel, so I am actually saturated. Waiting for my wife to return from the supermarket so I can get a towel. Whew. Having you guys here with me really does make a difference, actually. I'm almost an hour into this workout and it feels like I've been here hardly at all. Current heart rate 128, RPM currently 94. So I'm having a really good workout and I'm being entertained. I've got a heart rate monitor here, just so you know. That's linked to the laptop, so all the data I'm seeing is really accurate. Not tracking it on my Garmin, it will get synced back to Garmin, so it will sit in my training data. I've also started using a new app online, which I signed up to yesterday, read about it in my book called Intervals.icu. Gives you some exceptional data from all your workouts. So I was using an app called Elevate, and I think this beats it. So thoroughly recommend downloading or signing up to Intervals.icu, completely free. You can donate to him if you want to help him with his server costs, etc. Okay, 13.6 miles done. 500 calories burnt. Current heart rate 118. I wouldn't trust the calories burnt. Be interested to see what my Garmin says, but I'm not doing this for the calories, I'm doing this for the aerobic impact that it has. Cosmin, for your benefit, I am just about to go through the jungle flat, which I always quite enjoy. It's funny, it's been about a year since I used Zwift, and I kind of expected there to be some new routes, but it doesn't seem like there are any new routes. Do let me know if there is any new developments. Tell you what I can see is a massive pool of sweat down below me. See if I can, yeah. Crazy. Yeah, I'm in Watopia. Come and join me. That'll be fun. Though I don't think you'll be able to catch up with me, but let's see if I can cycle past you and give you a thumbs up. I've got an Apple TV in front of me as well, so theoretically I could have Zwift running up on the TV rather than on the laptop, but I had planned to watch a movie, which would be better to watch on the TV than the laptop. I have set this up in here pretty well. The one thing I will say is cycling hurts your butt. I do have padded shorts on, but the thing that does make the difference is these little foot squidgy balls that I put on the feet just to give it a bit of bounce. It makes it feel a lot more like actually cycling because you wobble around and your butt doesn't hurt as much. But an hour and 3 minutes in, I'm starting to feel like I've been in prison for 2 weeks. But if you've been around the channel long enough, you will know that I don't mind a bit of discomfort. I don't want any rumours to get out, not down there. Just from a training perspective, I will do whatever it takes. A couple of people worth following if you're on Instagram, other than PKSRUNS. I think he's called Matt the Endurance Athlete. I'm following him and Ascent Performance. Both take a incredibly scientific view to training and all of the sports science behind it. And yeah, those guys are I'm just feeding off them at the moment. So thoroughly recommend you follow them. If you find me on Instagram and look at who I follow, they will be in my most recent list. Cosman will be in my most recent list as well, because I don't follow people that much. And he was a recent follow. And that was back in December. Okay. We're on the flat. If you're wondering why I'm talking quietly, if you've recently joined, it's because my daughter is in bed upstairs and she came down. She was a bit pissed off that I was using my outdoor voice indoors. It didn't feel like it was the time to tell her that this is my house and I make the rules. But yeah, anyway. I have got a new toy as well, which I will be deploying on my runs very soon. Was going to try and film something in here with this morning, but in honesty, it only arrived yesterday and I didn't really know how to work it, so I need to spend some time playing around. But it's pretty cool. Gonna get some good running footage with it. So, looks like I've got a medium effort climb coming up in a minute. Not a big one, just the one to get out of the jungle. Just gonna keep on going. Let's get the hat back on. Okay. Hour and 7 minutes, 15.9 miles ridden. 700 litres sweat. As you can see, this is literally sticking to me. At least another 30 minutes. I want this to be the equivalent of a long run, so I've got I've got 10.5 miles to complete the big loop, and I'll see how I feel at the end of that, but I might do another mountain climb. Depending on where this brings me back, I guess it's going to bring me back into the main kind of beachfront. So I might do the volcano after this. Yeah, big loop. I'm in big loop. And I've got 10.3 miles to go. I'll get to the end of big loop and then I'll head to the volcano. Okay, climbing is about to start. Things are about to slow down again. Current gradient 3%. Current output 185 watts. Heart rate 125. Let's just hold this right here. I cannot begin to tell you what a good exercise, a good workout this is. Yeah, go to the volcano. I'll find you. Runners are easy to spot because there's hardly any ever of you. There's hardly ever any of you there. So, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm in Zwift, I'm on my bike, I've got a calf injury, and I've been told I can't run for another week. So, I'm replacing my Saturday long run with a long ride in the garage. And I thought I'd just go live and talk you through it, and we can chat running. You can ask running questions there, or just chat using the chat. Cooking. Absolutely cooking. What's going to be interesting is whether this route has any sprints. I do quite enjoy a sprint. You actually get measured against everybody else. I suspect there'll be one around the flat. If there is, I'll go for it and you will see proper suffering. I haven't done a sprint cycle in, I don't know, over a year. They're normally like 20-second, 30-second segments, and they're brutal, absolutely brutal. Particularly when you've already cycled like 17 miles, which actually, when you think about it, for a cyclist would be crazy small. They don't do rides like this, they go out and do like 100 miles. But it's a lot for me. Current speed 9 miles per hour, which means it's going to take me another hour to finish this route. That can't be right. That's because I'm going uphill. Other thing I could have done, I could have got my Kindle down here and I could be reading my Kindle. That would be very, very good multitasking. Heart rate creeping up now, 133. All right, I'll be looking out for you. If I see the option to jump onto volcanoes sooner, I'll jump across. Because I don't know how long it'll take me to get there. It'll take me less time if I work a bit harder. We're going to work for a bit. Pushing 200 watts now. Oh, great. Heart rate up to 140. Busting a gut here, up to 10 miles per hour. Get up this hill. 215 watts. To see if I can catch Cosmin. This is going to be quite fun. Oh, that's crazy. Just trying different buttons here, see what things do. Okay, let's not focus on that, let's just focus on the writing. Definitely climbing. Definitely climbing. Take that off. So there's no talking, I'm just focusing on climbing. Not massively steep, but having to work. Downhill, no resistance, not changing gear. Back uphill again. I'm gonna record a reel whilst I'm doing this. Red January, day 24. I am on my bike, no running. As you may know, there is an injury. I've been on the bike for an hour and 19 minutes. My average watts per kilo, 1.88. Don't really know what that means. Cyclists will know. Anyway, if you're out running today, let me know what you're planning. I look forward to hearing from you. Red January, day 24, from the bike. Absolute sweatfest. Okay, is there going to be an opportunity to turn off for the volcano? Nope, not there. Okay, I'll keep looking for it. What I really need is the iPad, and then I could have the map on the iPad, the live on here. I definitely have too many toys. Good news is I'm getting to the top of the climb. It's only a little climb, but I'm getting to the top of it. I'm gonna change the gear. This is what I'm looking at here. And that's right, I've got the Tron bike, which you only get when you've, I think, climbed a certain amount of elevation. I think I got that last year when I had my, 2 years ago, when I had my foot fracture. I would say I'm really missing running. I've run 1 kilometre this week, and when you're normally doing 110 kilometres, 1 kilometre sucks. I miss being outside in the fresh air. But this is the sensible thing, to not let the injury get any worse. very fortunate that I've got the option of training in the garage whilst I'm injured. If you are just joining, we are an hour and 23 minutes into this ride. Oh, I'm just passing a runner who's walking. That wasn't you, Cosmin. Aim of the game at the moment is to try and catch up with Cosmin, who is running on the volcano loop. And I basically need to be off the bike by 11 because I've got to bake a birthday cake. Cosmin, are you doing the flats or are you doing the volcano climb? Hi, can you bring me my towel? Oh. Have you brought cocoa? Yeah. Great. They're hanging on the rack. I'm doing a YouTube live, by the way, so just don't say anything incriminating. They're on the drying rack. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, we have a towel. I find just having it around the neck actually works pretty well. And because I'm doing that, I can do this. As you can see, little jelly belly. That's the bit I'm trying to get rid of. Good. Okay, I'm glad you're doing the flat. Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Doesn't matter, I'll find you either way. I am very glad to have my towel, finally. And we should fly through this last bit of the loop because I've got a nice downhill now. So, up the tempo, up the gears, let it rip. I will say this, pretty strong tricep action going on there. Not bad for a runner, not bad at all. Okay. Okay, yeah, left to Italian villas. I think that gets me to the mountain, to the volcano. Yes, the volcano's over there to the left. I've got it. I found you, Cosmin. I will be with you soon. Feels very meta doing a YouTube live, but about to meet up in a virtual workout world online. Crazy. Welcome to 2026. Ooh. Hour and 20 minutes into this ride. Current heart rate 148 BPM. Quality zone 2, bordering on zone 3 right now. Whatever it is, I'm working for it. And that feels good. Friggin' love working. Basically need to catch Cosmin by 11. Because probably going to need 5 minutes to cool down. Going to need 10 minutes to get showered, get changed. 5 minutes, 10 minutes to whisk up the ingredients of a cake. 35 minutes in the oven, need to let it cool. Then need to ice it when it's cool. Got to be on the road by 2:30. Oh, it's going to be a race against time. I love a race against time. Heart rate 153. Current output 217 watts. Oh. It started out easy and it has run away with itself. Might do the same route tomorrow. It's a good one. Heart rate 157. Heading towards sub-threshold. But I'm not going to let it get that high. I'm going to drop the gear back and I can just control that heart rate nicely. That is the great thing about the bike. It's so easy to control your heart rate. I'll be honest, I'm on an amazing static trainer, which does make that very easy. Not all bikes are going to be able to do that. I'm going to drop the gear one more time. Down to gear 9. Wattage 160. Heart rate creeping back down. 152, which is nice. Move my laptop a little bit so that I can see Cosmin when I get to it. Lots of people out riding in Zwift at the moment, in Watopia. If you've never tried virtual riding or running, it is actually surprisingly good fun. Very engaging. It's a shame actually I can't stream my screen. Maybe next time we'll do it from the laptop and then I can share the screen and that would be fun. want to go Italian Villas or 360 Bridge? I think Italian Villas. I think that's going to get me to the volcano. We've passed the 90-minute mark on the bike. Good morning if you're just joining. We are 93 minutes into a long ride, replacing a long run, because I've got a calf injury. Out for at least another 7 days. Which sucks, by the way. But this is a bloody good workout, and I'm pleased to be doing it. Volcano circuit. Yes. I'm coming for you. Can't see the volcano, but I'm sure we're going to get there. There it is. There it is. I had to turn down a sprint to get there. Currently travelling at 23 miles per hour. Have done 23.7 miles in total. Heart rate 130, current output 130 watts. Current RPM 94 revolutions per minute, how many times I'm turning the pedals over. When I'm running, I'm aiming for 180. And cycling at 90 keeps it spring would have put your car under the stress, so your Cosmin, I'm not going to lie, I don't know what that means. Are we talking about the 900 kg car? Oh, calf. Would have put my calf under stress. Yeah. Exactly. This is a no stress recovery, and actually getting to do a really good workout on the quads, which are less dominant in running, so able to give them a bit of a workout. Okay, Cosmin, are you going counterclockwise or clockwise? Doesn't matter, I'll find you. I am going clockwise. I'm being overtaken. By a douchebag in a sit-down bike. Why? The sprint. Yes, okay. Absolutely, yeah. Do not need to do a sprint. Okay, I do not understand why you would come into Zwift and train on an incumbent bike. Let's just say he is disabled in real life. Surely, you would take the opportunity to ride on an able-bodied bike. And If not, oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, that's an aside. Yeah, no, I definitely don't need to be doing sprints on the bike. Keeping this kind of solid state is perfect, absolutely perfect. Oh, cheeky, hill. Volcano circuit, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Just gonna be looking out for runners. Maybe. That's a good point. That'd be pretty crazy, I guess. That's pretty fun. I've overtaken him now, though. Getting a last laugh. When I'm running, I'm not competitive at all, but in Zwift, something about overtaking people that's quite fun. He's just overtaken me again. Folks, when I get to Cosmin, I will see if I can share the moment with you. I'm about to ride inside the volcano. I think we'll share that. Just gonna be careful not to get burnt in here. As you can see, here's my stats. Ooh, that's new, there's a new climb portal. Okay, keep the volcano circuit. Okay. Okay, I've got 10 minutes to catch Cosmin. This is going to be do or die. I'm just going past. Yeah, this is AI, yeah. No, not AI. I mean, we're in a virtual world. Virtual training program. Good to see you, Nylands. Welcome to the chat. I'm like Aaron 40 into a cycle, injured currently. You might have seen on my reels. You might not have done, also. Trying to catch Cosmin. He's also riding in the same virtual world as me, except he's not riding, he's running in a virtual world. I'm about to try and overtake him. I'm trying to find him. This is very much not AI. This is real. Real sweat. Real effort. And my bum hurts in a very real way. Tell you what, it is hard work. Coming up to an hour and 45 minutes on the bike. And yeah, average wattage over 60 minutes, 159. Buddy, I'm about to overtake you. Except I'm slowing right down. Hang on a minute. Oh. Okay. I'll try and give Cosmin a chance to catch up here. Where was he? Okay. We'll wait for Cosmin to catch up. Yeah, so I injured myself last Saturday on my run. Just a minor calf strain, bit of a tear. Went to the physio on Thursday, and it's fine. It's going to take about a week to recover or so. So I'm doing everything I can on the bike just to keep recovering. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pause the workout. Because the problem is, I'm going at 18 miles an hour. So I'm building an insurmountable gap for Cosmin. In fact, actually, I wonder if I can turn around. Yeah, I'm going to U-turn. I'll go back to Cosmin, and then I'll cycle alongside him. All right. I am right by you. Okay, so running doesn't really translate into cycling. As a runner, you get quad fatigue on the bike before you get your heart rate up. Not true. I have worked at heart rate mostly in the 130s to 140s for the past 90 minutes. Quad fatigue isn't there. Obviously you are working your quads, but you're also working your hamstrings. So I can actually control a workout on the bike actually better than I can on the when I'm running. So if I wanted to, you know, let's say I want to target 160 BPM, I can very easily do that now, just increase the resistance. And here we go. I think that's Cosmin. I don't know where I am, but he is there. Very tight shorts, Cosmin. Very tight shorts. So I think if you're on a static bike and you use training programs correctly, don't need to work in zone 4. I can get up into zone 4, but I'm not trying to get there. My whole training philosophy is to try and spend as much time in zone 2, zone 3. I can get into zone 4, I can get into zone 5 for short amounts of time. But I can target it much easier. So in Zwift I can do very structured workouts. The bike has got ERG mode, so it will automatically adjust to get the exact output that I want. Which actually means I can, really, really easily control and get to the heart rate that I want to get to. But even when I'm training, normally, I do very little zone 4. Much harder to recover from than zone 3. Zone 3 really is kind of like a sweet spot. I've lost you now, Cosmin. But actually I did a 40-minute mountain climb up here. Heart rate was like 140. I did a similar sort of climb a couple of days ago. Heart rate was like sitting at 160. And yeah, the quads do hurt, but on the bike, because I've got pedals, obviously, you can pull as well as push, so you actually can work the hamstrings and the quads to reduce that load on the quads. I would also say my quads are pretty strong. Like, I don't want to sound boastful, but yeah, my legs are pretty powerful. Okay, this ride finishes in 2 minutes at 11 AM because I've got to bake a cake. But this has been super fun. Real world, virtual world, YouTube world, Zwift world, all coming together. Total stats. Let me give you the stats update for this ride. 1 hour 49, 27.4 miles covered. Average power 140. I don't know what my average heart rate is. I'll see that when it uploads into Strava. In fact, I'll see that when I actually finish the ride. So what I'll do is I'll stop the ride here. I don't need to carry on. And ride. There we go. Let's have a look. Right, here's some of this. I would like to do a cake baking video. So 140 average power, 27 miles, hour and 50. I've earned 3 slices of pizza, 888 calories. Here we are. Average heart rate 125, sorry. So you can see I spent a bit of time in the zone 4, no time in zone 5. Most of my time in zone 2 and zone 3. That was the warm up there. And critical power, absolutely no idea what that means. So guys, Cosmin, great to see you again, mate. We'll have to get a run, try and do a group run sometime if we're all in the same country at the same time. I have to get something going. Anyway, I am going to log off. If there's one thing I know, that is I'm going to get cold incredibly quickly, sat out here in my garage with my top off. So I'm going to go have a very quick shower and see you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. It's been great fun.